Welcome to your Scorpio horoscopes for the week ending June 15th. And it's kind of boring this week, actually, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it could be a bad thing, but sometimes too much excitement is just exhausting, especially for a fixed sign like Scorpio. No planets in Scorpio this week. Focuses on the mind, your thoughts, how you utilize those thoughts in terms of projection or destruction. And we have Pallas Athene, the warrior goddess, which is still retrograde all through the week. So what's kind of interesting, I think, here from an outside perspective, when we're inside of a thought process, it's really, really hard to see it from the outside. And we're all in these situations where we get triggered and something makes us angry, and we sit and stew in the anger of, of the situation, and then sometimes the anger around the trigger as well, which makes it multi-layered, which makes it even more difficult to see it from an outside perspective. But one of the things I have learned and had burned in my brain like a lot lately is that the more I can pull myself out of the middle of all of that and see it from an outside perspective, the more often I have the choice to do something about it. Now, everybody's going to be like, I can't change this person. I can't make them stop acting the way they are. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. You can't do that. But you can change how you approach the person, how that kind of behavior affects you emotionally, whether you're going to be a victim to that behavior or whether you're going to do whatever you need to do to take care of you and let them be whoever they're going to be. We have no control over that. It's true, even if it directly affects us. This is why it was so difficult for me to pull myself out of the middle of it, to see it from an outside perspective, because this behavior from this other person directly affects me and my life. But I am allowing that to happen. It always comes back to me and what I'm willing to do. There is so much, I hate to say it like this, but there's no polite way of saying it. There's so much victimhood in the world these days, so incredibly much of it. And I'm sure there's various reasons for that. But when you look at the world and you see the pain in the world and the suffering in the world and how difficult life is for everybody, you can succumb to that and be a part of that, or you can rise above it and do whatever it takes to make sure that you don't succumb to that type of victimhood. And yes, it's the hardest thing that you're going to do. It's the hardest thing that you're going to have to do in your whole entire life. But you guys are Scorpios. You guys are one of the most powerful signs in the zodiac. So incredibly highly intuitive, and all of that mess and all of that frustration and all of those emotions and that emotional thinking is blocking that intuition. The answer is right there in front of your face, but you can't see because your anger and frustration is a big, thick, black curtain in front of it, blocking it out. So you can't see. That big, thick black curtain is your anger and frustration. Think about it. The mind is powerful. It is a powerful projector. It is a powerful manifester. And when used correctly, can be extremely helpful to your success. But when used incorrectly, it's that big black curtain that's like a wall that you cannot get past, no matter how hard you try. So that's what I have for you guys this week. It's really interesting when you can start to identify when your brain falls into that place. When you can identify when your brain falls into that place, you then have the choice to yank yourself out and see it from an outside perspective. That's all I have for you guys this week. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week, probably. Hopefully, things are getting pretty intense around here. And that's why there has been so many skipped horoscopes, unfortunately. But if you want to make sure that you get not just your horoscopes, but a personal reading around your horoscopes that's geared to you specifically, check out my membership on my website for a very low fee. You could be on that list. It's a video that is unlisted, that is only put in places where members can access it and nobody else. So it's pretty much private, except for the other members that are on the list. And yeah, it's amazing. And that never gets skipped. That is a priority. I will make time for that no matter what. I make time for this too, no matter what, as much as I possibly can. But paid memberships are definitely a priority. So yeah, think about that. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys make sure to make it a powerful week. I'll see you next week.